Swys de Bruin is currently the head coach for the Springbok women's rugby team in South Africa. Well, under his leadership, the team that participated in the 2025 Women's Rugby World Cup held in England achieved a historic milestone by making it to the quarterfinals, where they faced defending champions New Zealand. The Bruins' leadership is seen as pivotal for the growth of women's rugby in South Africa. And I'm so happy to have Swys in the studio to talk about how he feels about their achievements and how he plans to build on their success. Hi Swys, welcome to Biznews.
Hey Linda, it's so nice to talk to you again. Great, man.
I watched you when the women, had that homecoming. How did this feel?
Man, it was absolutely fantastic, Linda. I tell you what, we started a year ago. It was so new for me, and I didn't know where to start or what to do. I've been for 35 years in the men's game. And then, so if I look back now, if I can turn the clock back a few months, it's just unreal what unfolded. And, I'm so proud of the girls and the way they did it. And they were real ambassadors for our country, especially as far as women's rugby is concerned.
Well, you describe it as miracle upon miracle. So take us through those matches. There was Italy first, and you just kept on breaking records.
Yeah, look, I must say it was miracle on miracle. For me, being a believer, I believe in miracles, and I saw a lot of them just happen, and the girls saw it, just a few rugby things, how the moves and the plans worked. It's just stuff that we never really rehearsed, but it just worked. And that Italy game was such a big moment in our lives, because they were rated seventh in the world then, and we were 12th. And that's where the little song that I played for them, Miracle on Miracle on Miracle, they bought in, and I did convince them as well, a miracle is like multiply if you start believing in it. And so it was just a fantastic, bit of the field stuff that we sorted out, and it worked for them, I must say.
So what was the magic ingredient, do you think? What the material you were working with, or what?
Normally, if I can use if you bake a cake, you need the right ingredients, you need everything to have the best cake at the end of the day. And that's why I was very fortunate and blessed to have. Firstly, the backing from SA Rugby suddenly for women's rugby was unreal. Rian Oberholzer and Dave Wessels, our guy in charge of our performance, they just backed us so much in everything we asked for. And not only that, not that they spoiled us, it's just they treated us like real professionals, and the girls bought in, and they felt like true professionals, Yeah, and my management, I'm so blessed with a great management team, from our manager, our medical staff, our coaches, the analysts, Zoe, and every single one. And it was new for a lot of them as well. But the miracle on miracle that happens was not just because of one guy, or me, or that was really the right ingredients from a lot of people doing the right stuff at the right time. And then most of they started believing that we can do it. We couldn't keep the ball before this. We battled to keep it for 5 to 10 phases, and twice in the tournament we went over 10, 15, 20 phases keeping the ball. And same with the defense. We would break sooner, and And hats off to our defensively we break down sooner than now. And that's all due to great conditioning work. We've got a guy, Nasir Parker, he spoke to the Russian and their trainers, and he really put a concerted effort in. So a lot of good work from a lot of people, that helped a lot.
So what's next for women's rugby? It seems that, the gates have been opened now.
Yeah, true. I said there in one of the press conferences, the giant is awakened in South Africa, and it's so true. Firstly, before what's in for it now is just the realization wherever you move, and the girls tell me as well, it's just surreal is the word. at shopping centers, in the social media. It is just it's like we were like the men's team. We won the World Cup, and we just made top 8. So imagine we can do even better. Yeah. So the plan forward now, Linda, is we just this morning had a long meeting again with the powers to be about the way forward. It's going to be more professional now. There's going to be a system where we play with 6 professional teams in the country and the franchise rugby. And then they promised us as well to get strength versus strength games, because I still believe that was the turning point. The fact that we managed to play the All Black B team, that was we were so pleased that we could play the B team before the World Cup, and that we could play Canada, the icons and for a lot of these girls. Yeah, and so to be, I think when we beat the Black Ferns in that last game, it just gave us tons and tons and tons of confidence, and the girls started believing. And that's where the I believe the confidence came from. It's when you realize when you set the bar high and you get over, you realize, but I can maybe set it a bit higher as well, and they started challenging, and the fitness, all the fitness tests improved. The body composition of the girls got better. They just became so professional. And yeah, as I said earlier, it's so many factors that if you're any success story, I build my success stories around faith, and they bought in, and I believe our diversity is our strength. That's our big strength, especially in this beautiful rainbow country of ours. The Xhosa girls, they love the physical, they tough, man, and they're hard. And then you've got a lot of Western Cape girls with a different influence. Your traditional Afrikaans girls, they bring another component. So if you look at all the ingredients of our nationalities, and a lot of girls from the Limpopo area as well, and then as well where the girls come from, a lot of them come from very disadvantaged backgrounds. Some orphanages, some really battle, some don't even know their real parents, that's where I say it's miracle on miracle that a story like this can come together and make them so proud and make the country so proud. And suddenly you've got all these young role models, all the role models that wants to be followed, and there's followers. And the young girls now, there's a tournament I just heard from a guy, schools tournament they organized, that they just flooded with entries. So where traditionally girls, it was tagged as a man's game for long in this country, not like in the UK and New Zealand and those places. And that what the Afrikaans word is die paradigma skuif, that mind
shift.
Yeah, that has taken place. And now suddenly, and the traditional male would say, it's not for women, and this and that, but for sport and for girls, it's just painted a total different picture. Now everyone loves it, and they say it's the joy that the girls get out of it afterwards, and the singing and the dancing is so different, because the stereotype for men is you concentrate, you firm, there's no jokes, it's this total focus to get the result. With women, it's opposite. They just love it, and that love sort of rubs down to everyone. You must see some of our girls, when they move in a group out and stuff, with how they just engage everyone, and they love their spirit. The people just love their spirit. And I think that we took to the rugby field, and some good results came out of that.
But not only for South Africa, no, I watched the last match at Twickenham, and they had a sellout crowd. I mean, who would have thought you could sell out, 81,000 seats at Twickenham for women's rugby?
Linda, my whole experience with the World Cup, from we arrived at those stadiums and at the hotels and the whole UK vibe, I realized that women's rugby in the world, and especially in the UK, is huge. That's why I said a giant is awakened in South Africa, but the giant is already there. That's a big thing. It's a big thing. The bus stops at those stadiums. It feels like when my Springbok days with the men's team, you can't get out of the bus. It's just crowds and chanting and carry on supporting. And these girls have never, ever seen a thing like that in their lives. So they, a lot of them, they became instant heroes.
So, Swys, what's next for you? Are you sticking to the team? You've got such an amazing career. Was it first the Griquas, then the Lions and the Springboks, and now, women's rugby? What's next for you?
Ma'am, yeah, that's in God's hands, not in mine. But as far as that we can control it, I've been offered to carry on to the next World Cup. So, we must just sort all the little detail stuff out now. The plan was that I coach coaches now on South African rugby, the Craven Week, up to all the teams under us that falls under Rossi's auspices, the sevens, so that I play a mentor role. And that was the plan for all those coaches. But that's been put aside now again. And so it's me and women's rugby again with my coaching staff and everyone. So already planning going forward, and we got to get the product in South Africa better first. You can't have one professional team like the Blue Bulls, and then they get all the best players there, and then they beat every side, by 70, 80. And those guys are the bulk of our team, the national team, and then because they beat everyone so far, they never learn how to defend, for example. So the balance is wrong. And strength versus strength in our domestic game is now the secret. So that's what we're looking at the 6 professional teams that we can, South African rugby can control the strength and who's playing where, so that if we've got 6 good scrum offs, they spread between the 6 unions, not all of them just with the Bulls, so we gotta get our act together first. And then secondly, they promised me this morning again that we will, now that we top 10 or made 8 we will get more competitive games, because you cannot improve if you don't compete against the best on a regular basis. If we can have that, we will then definitely turn the ship, because the talent is here, the passion, the faith, the support, the media. It's so much beyond South African girls. Everything is there, but we need to get the main thing right, is the domestic competition, and then a good enough international exposure.
And what about the money? Because, some of these girls told us in interviews, I interviewed Nomsa Mugwai, that, they still had day jobs. So what about the money? What about sponsorships for these women?
Yeah, now that's not my department. It's SA Rugby, but they're brilliant with this. And the FMB as main sponsor, and those people that's in already, they're keen. They've seen what can happen with the team, so they want to put their money, behind the right product. And I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. It's not going to be overnight. Look, the World Cup, Linda triggered the whole thing and showed everyone what is available. And how can we grow? But now the big trick is, can we sustain? Because the next World Cup is only in 4 years, and we can't. We started already thinking of what we're going to do in 4 years' time. Not like in the past, the next game, or where can we find games, or what if we try and get Canada here, or let's go and tour again, and then we go. Last year we went there for a tour. I wanted to play France. We're not strong enough. I wanted to play England. We're not strong enough. They give us under 21 side. France did a practice against us. So again, we had to play against Spain. So that's a big problem for me. Not a problem. They promised me now that we're barking with the big dogs now, and they will make sure that there will be more international games. And on your question, the sponsors want that as well. The sponsors don't want sponsor Mickey Mouse games and set up. They'll jump in if we can play top 8 teams. That'll pull the sponsors for sure, and they said it already. That's almost what they want.
When a couple of your players are a little bit older, so do you have to build a new younger team for the next 4 years?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Next week I'm already attending a under 20 national under 21 tournament up in Joburg, and we've got so many players carrying on. In fact, of ours, only Cindy Boy, our captain, that's moving on. At this stage, it looks like, I don't want to mention names or anything now, but most, let's say 99% of our squad can go for another World Cup, and then we got to bring the new youngsters in. That's another secret. We'll have to bring the right ones in, especially We're strong in certain departments, the physical stuff side, the mauling, the scrumming. We can tackle hard. We're good with it. Not only defense, but our tackling is solid and hard. But we definitely need speed and more faster goals. I see the differences when we play the top sides. We can take them on in any department, really. But as soon as the game opens up and it's the skill set out wide and pure pace, there's no replacement for real speed with a bit of a ball sense, so that's what we are definitely want to improve. And now we've got a few of those goals, but we need more. We need to go and find that other codes, from athletics, from more netball players, more hockey players, because it's not just speed that will do the trick, it's the speed plus the ball skills. So there's already a bit of, I can't take everything out now, but there's already goals that we're thinking, that can join the squad and make it stronger.
So you're looking at for sprinters and say, oh, that one looks fast. Let's see if she can catch the ball.
I said to my this morning, we drove down in town, and there was a girl running past. I said, stop her, let's sign her up, because speed, you can't buy speed at the grocery stores. They've got a bit of netball and the other ball sports background, If you look at a lot of our top players, like a Danielle Lochner or those players, she's a prettier netball player, so a lot of them do excel in different coaches, like Nadine Roos as well. You can play her anywhere. She even jumped in the lineouts bus, and she's, you need a few more of those for sure. Then the sky will be the limit, I promise you.
My family are rugby crazy. When the boys were watching and my family were watching rugby, they were looking at the tackles and going, can women be tackled like that? So what is your experience? I mean, women are not sissies, are they?
Linda, you know what I've learned through this experience? That story behind every man is that woman. And I tell you why, I don't know why the woman is always behind, because she should often be in front. Women are so tough. They're relentless. They never moan. I tell you what, with men's rugby, go Super Rugby in week 3, and they moan about every bloody thing. The food, the this, and not that they want to moan. I think it's an inherent thing. Even if you get the flu, for man, when you got the flu, you're sick. You're really sick. For a girl, now it's nothing. It's just a bit of a sneeze. So firstly, their pain threshold amazed me. Another miracle that took place, we've never had an injury on 5 weeks. We had 1 or 2 bumps and bruises, and I said to the doctor and the medical team, you guys are unreal. Normally with a men's team, in week 3, week 4, week 5, there's about 6 to 10 guys at a little hospital next to the field and must get treated and this and that and look, look like a medical barracks next to the field. With our girls, there was it was one of those miracles. And then I realized, but that's how tough they are. And they just, little things like the bus driver would stop at a place. And I was sitting in front, and every girl that came off somehow thanked the driver for the lift. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Alan. Thanks. Have a nice day. And I thought, hell, you guys are different and special. You're not entitled. You see everything as a massive privilege. And that's what I loved. It's more than just a game. I've got in my coaching philosophy, I work on a 7-principle thing that I worked at over the years. 6 of them are rugby. All the things starting from how you go forward and momentum, right, building up through pressure. And then principle 7 is the value system. We call it trust God system and sisterhood. And how do we support one another? If someone is down, if, for example, the water carrier brings the water on, I don't take it and drink first. I give it to my mate. It's that serving mentality that I just loved with the women. And you know what? The other thing is they make me and my coaches and my management, they make us feel special. They're thankful. Thanks, coach. What a great session. I loved it. Hey, man, it's lekker. It's always high five. And that rubs down, which I wish some more men teams can get that right. If that's where they're relentless. They just, back on your question, I tell the long story. I can write a book on women's toughness, but wow. And initially I wanted more just, okay, girls, just pause with your eyes, soft hands, lean forward, all that. No, they want the ball and they want to run. They want to beat people. They love the physical side of the rugby. And they thrive on that. So never, I'll never underestimate a woman again in my life, for sure.
Well, Swys de Bruin, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Linda, thank you so much for what you're doing as well for women's rugby. We need guys or women like you and, to boost our game more and put us on the map. And especially from the South African women's side, we're so thankful. We're humble. We like what you guys are doing for us. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.